Where Did It Come From 23, covering Witch Hunt 2022. What can we make on the Witch's Cauldron workbench this year? Well, there's a whole host of fixed upgrades. That's where you pay only two of the items, but you also pay a bunch of resources, so usually it costs you around 3 of whatever it is you're upgrading, and you upgrade them and you know what you're going to get. No randomness here. Durability plus 10%, power penalty reduced by 15%. Ooh, lovely. No random junk for us if you use the Witch's Cauldron workbench. And it doesn't even cost you tricky treats. It should cost you tricky. It usually costs you tricky treats, doesn't it? I'm sure it did. Anyway, I'm not going to detail them now. I will go through them at the end of the video, so future me can see what I could have had if I upgraded now. So a host of them. There's the epics, there's the special, and aha! The one new thing this Witch's Hunt. Wicker Man decoration for your test range. Not for your car, for your test range. And even worse, it's not tradable. Oh, what's the point of having a market if you make non-tradable things? Pugh. So it costs some tricky treats, it costs some resources, and it costs some test range decoration. Meh. Rubbish. Let's just nip to the bottom, and yes, you can craft a dead man's chest. If you haven't already crafted your dead man's chest, go do it right now. Stop watching this video, go farm your tricky treats and make your dead man's chest. Unless, of course, Witch Hunt has already finished. In which case, you're too late, you missed out. Ugh. If you want to see the details, then go see my previous video, Dead Man's Chest. Worth it. Or worth it. Or question mark worth it. Yeah. Anyway, there's the other container. Too far. Witch's sticker container. I didn't look up the resources. And they might be the same as last year. They might be different, might be a bit cheaper. But anyway, the contents of the Witch's sticker container, which are random when you open up, you get a random one of these, exactly the same as last year. All the stickers are the same. No new ones. No one's missing. And last year, because it's a random set and people wanted a particular one, so they crafted it and then didn't get the one they want, so they sold the one they didn't want and they sold it cheap. And I bought a bunch of them and I sold most of them. Well, most of them, yeah. But this year, not such a good investment, because these stickers really seem to get hit badly by the price corridor shenanigans introduced in May, where the lower price corridor just drops by 90% and then someone trades it there and the price goes right down and the price is collapsed. So this year I'm not getting any. Well, I might get one or two if they're really cheap, or if they turn out to be really cheap. At the moment they're very cheap. Well, they're much cheaper than crafting. If you want one of these, don't craft the container. One, because you get a random one, and two, you can buy them off the market so much cheaper. The Major, where's he gone? There he is. There's the Major. He's the most expensive at the moment. You can insta-buy him for 6 coins. To craft the Witch's container costs you 52 coins. So you're much better off buying them off the market. And yet, over the course of Witch Hunt, the prices of all those stickers have slowly gone down as people undercut each other and they trade. So I think people are still crafting the Witch's sticker container and then selling what they get, even though you're making a huge loss. People are crazy. The market's crazy. But what can you do? On to the paints, decor and stickers. A reduced selection this year. Not all the ones that were on the Witch's Cauldron workbench last year are present this year. I don't know why. Did they forget them? Or are they trying to make them more exclusive? Who knows? But let's look at the ones we got, shall we? Shining paint, lovely 70s wallpaper. The Harvest, which, let's have a closer look. Oh, better look on the vehicle, yes. Except it's all really quite small. And as soon as you're at any distance at all, you can't see what the paint is. It's just sort of orange and black, you can tell, but you can't tell what it is. Dear Tarjan, please, 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 can we have a paint zoom function when we're slapping paint all over our builds. The same way we got a zoom function on the sticker, so you can make the sticker really large so people can see it. There's no point having a lovely detailed paint if people can't make out the details because they're too far away. Anyway, that was a little rant there. Where did we get to? Leaf fall. Pumpkin gloss, really, isn't it? Sweater, there's a film reference for you. Mummy, lots of bandages. Old videotape, which is a lovely hologram. I haven't got that one. I might get that one. Why so serious? Horn. Just a minute, I need to go to OBS and say, let's hear what. Oh, and turn the volume up. Let's hear what we can hear, because let's hear the horns, shall we? Why so serious? Taunt your enemies with that one. Now my favourite one, D minor. The Hearse Horn, which is just rubbish. Don't get this one. And that's the horn, so let me turn the noises off again. Horror show! It's a duck in a witch's hat that appears to have been nailed to its head. Oh dear. Ooh, stickers. The Ring. That's another film reference, isn't it? Here's Pete. That's another film reference. Sticker there, quite a complicated sticker there. You're not going to see that unless you zoom in up really big. Death mask paint, that's been around for years. And I got a couple, and it was really expensive, and the price went down and down and down. I've been stuck with it. Pumpaloons. Everybody likes balloons. They can make you fly, you know. Skull pipe, which is an exhaust with a skull bouncing around on the top of it. LED soaring bat. Now that was it new? I think it was new last year, or maybe the year before. I thought they'd be having, you know, a different one every year. There'd be a bat and there'd be a witch flying around or something. Yeah, but no, nothing new. Jack-o'-lantern, which is a light, you can turn it on and off. The glowy bit, that is. And finally, LED jack, which is a pumpkin. Now, if you're thinking of crafting any of those, don't. You can buy them cheaper off the marketplace. Let's have a look at the spreadsheet and see the numbers. In the green, you can see the resource cost, and then I've multiplied up by today's resource prices to give us a total for legendary stuff. Note that the decors and stickers and paints from the same rarity all have the same recipe, so they're the same price too. 346 for legendary stuff, 176 for epic stuff, and 49 for special, and there wasn't any rare stuff. That's today's prices. Prices go up as well as down, but they give you a good rough idea. And they're all the items you can craft are all cheaper off the marketplace than the crafting cost. If we look further down the spreadsheet, you can see last year's resource prices, and you can see they've changed. If we look at legendary, we now have wires, but we've got a lot less cost in batteries and electronics. And it turns out they're about 40% cheaper. This total is last year's resources times today's prices. So legendary was 740 coins to craft, now 345, which is about 40% discount. We're 40% cheaper. That's an important thing to note. The stuff you can craft on the annual event workbenches, the recipes can and do change. And with this change, I can't make up my mind whether it's worth getting any of these stickers and paints and decor as an investment, because they've been a lot cheap. They're a lot cheaper to craft, 40% cheaper to craft. So are people going to pay more for them in the forthcoming year because they were cheaper? Or because they're cheaper, do the investor types like me think they're not going to be worth so much, so they're not buying so many, so not so many get crafted, so there's a reduced supply in the market in the forthcoming year, so the prices will go up more because of price pressure? Or will people just craft more of them because they're cheaper, so there'll be more in the market anyway? I can't make up my mind. It's a bit of a moot point, really, because I haven't got much storage space left, so I can't get that many of them. Last year, Pumpaloon, Skull Pipe and Soaring Bat LED, they all did really rather well as investments. They went up and up and up and up until Witch Hunt came round again and they come down again. So I was intending to get myself a bunch of these, but now I'm not so sure. I have got myself a pair of Skull Pipes though, because they look well cool. Now I do apologise, because this financial information, like don't craft them, buy them off the market and look at the price change from last year, that would have been much more useful at the start of Witch Hunt rather than at the end of it. But there you go, them's the breaks. That's it for the talky part of this video. I'll see you in the next one. Where's that Catalina pack got to? The rest of this video is just all the fixed upgrades that were available on the Witch's Cauldron workbench.